Hello, everyone, and welcome to In a Kerfuffle podcast. Today I'm here with Ian and Joey.
Gentlemen. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Um, yeah, I guess we can just get right into it. So, the first topic of today that we wanted to talk about was the this week both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X was released. Um,
They were already released.
yeah, both of them are already out.
Oh my!
PS5 came out yesterday.
Hmm.
Did they release it closer to Christmas?
Yeah, I don't know. Uh, some of the big games that I've heard a lot of talk about are the new Assassin's Creed game. It's Valhalla, right?
Yeah.
Oh damn!
What'd you say? It looks good. Is that what
It
you
looks
said?
good.
Yeah. Um,
Fairly
and
massive.
uh, what are the other games? The new Spider-Man game,
Yeah, Miles. Is it Spider-Man Miles Morales or did they
Miles
do another?
Morales. Yes, that's correct.
It's
Yeah.
it's I think it's Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, they're
And
just like
those
based
are
off the movie.
are
Or is
those
that like?
oh wait
Oh,
what wait they're
I
both
said.
okay. I don't know if it's based on the movie. I've never seen it.
I didn't-
What? Is
the Miles
Spider-Man
Morales.
So
Morales is based off the movie?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it is. There is no Miles Morales movie.
So a
Okay.
second wait
What are you
hold on.
talking about? They always
Assassin's.
said
Into the
Spider.
Hold on.
Spider. I
Listen.
mean,
Listen.
Into
Listen.
the Spider-Verse focuses on Miles Morales, but it's like not specifically just about him.
So
It was about.
the Spider-Man game is a PS4 exclusive or PS5 exclusive, correct?
It's on the PS4 as well.
Or it's an Xbox or it's a PlayStation exclusive.
PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. And Assassin's Creed is available for both, correct?
It's
Yeah.
available on all platforms. You can get it on your computer.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've seen a bit about the I've seen a couple threads about the PS5 so far, and it I've heard it has the red circle of death like the 360, the Xbox 360 had. Has anyone else heard about this?
I didn't hear about that. I So what? It just shuts down. Goodbye. Good night. Get a new console.
Um, I don't know. Red
The
Ring of Death.
the Red Ring of Death.
Yeah.
I never experienced it. I never had one.
Maybe. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking it up, and maybe that doesn't. Maybe that was doesn't exist. But um,
Thing
uh,
with like the the exclusives for each console, dude. Like PlayStation's definitely have better exclusives, but Xbox is like most Xbox games are gonna be ported to PC. But they're gonna have like
Why
an
Xbox?
ace. They
Why?
are, but they are gonna have an ace up their sleeve. They have Bethesda and Obsidian. PlayStation can do nothing about that, dude.
But once again, like you said, they're gonna be on PC, so there's no
Unless,
reason
but
for one
unless
to
they
buy
make it a
an X.
console exclusive. What if they make it a console exclusive?
I
see,
don't think they'd make it a console exclusive because they'd sell more having it on both.
You never know.
you know what
Yeah.
the
Save more.
Xbox does have over the PS4 though? The Game Pass. The Game Pass for the Xbox is super fire. I think that is the only thing keeping Xbox in basically the contention with PS4. And I think if PlayStation comes out with that something along those lines for the PlayStation Plus, I think that it's gonna absolutely take over. But also, Halo, the new Halo game is exclusive to Xbox, correct?
Yeah, but it's liquid garbage. Like
Oh,
it
is it
literally
really
looks like
bad?
literally looks like Combat Evolved on the original Xbox. Looks like Halo 2. It looks like it ain't even a real game. It's not. There's no way it's. They just like pulled out like a combat evolved and put it in Gmod.
Oh, interesting.
It looks garbage.
Does it? Oh, okay.
As soon as Bungie uh left the Halo to 343, like with Halo 4, right down the toilet.
Mm.
Right down the
Yeah.
Wait, but wasn't Reach really good and that was post?
No, that was Bungie.
Oh, that
Bungie.
was Bungie.
Yeah.
But wasn't that, you just said post Halo 3 4?
No, like post Bungie, the Halo 4 was the first 343.
Oh,
343 is the
new company?
the new, yeah.
Mm. But you know what did fall under the radar on release? Cold War. No one has,
Dude.
not a soul has said anything about Cold War.
I will not lie. I thought Cold War was gonna be garbage, like liquid garbage. I don't have it, but I watch gameplay. It looks fun. And like the campaign. I was saying earlier, I watched Andrew play it, right? That
Mhm.
campaign is on par with like Black Ops. It's one of the best COD campaigns since like Modern Warfare 2.
But honestly, let's be real here. Who plays COD for the campaign?
Dude, you are in the
Nobody,
minority.
dude.
Were really good.
You
I don't
are
know
in
what
the
you're talking about.
I
minority.
don't think so. I don't. I think COD campaigns are kind of.
You're so terrible. You can't look at me in the mouth. You cannot look at me in the mouth and tell me that Captain Price, Soap, Woods, Mason, Hudson, all those OG guys aren't cool as shit. Victor Reznov, dude, you really gonna do that? Really gonna say that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think the campaigns are very good. And I
like
think I'm in the
recent years.
majority. So
No,
I
you're
don't
not.
think you are. I really
You're
don't.
Pretty
you are
sure
in
I
like
am,
the
so.
minimum, like you are in the smallest
Probably
bracket
in
of
the
people.
bottom percent. If you're one of the people that plays COD for only the multiplayer, then you're a fucking idiot. Because COD multiplayer, after maybe 2 weeks of playing it, it's so fucking boring.
Hold on, let's see.
Dude, you know what they need? You know what they need to bring to make COD multiplayer great? You know what they need to bring back? Forced game chat. That was the best. Dude,
Wait, what?
Forced game chat and search and destroy lobbies.
Forced?
Forced. You were forced to go into game chat.
Oh.
Forced. You could not be in a party chat. That was literally the shit you heard in those game chats. If you spoke, you put full house. You were all in. All your chips were in. You got slammed against the table, and you had to take the beating. That's just how it was. And now, all these other CODs, dude, with the newer consoles like the Xbox One, as soon as all those came out, they just dropped it. I remember first game chat. Which ruined it. Ruined.
So I'm looking at an article right now, and it says that it's a completion rate for Call of Duty campaigns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the highest one is at 53%, which is very low, and that's
You're joking. That's where did who was filling that
right.
survey
So it
out?
goes. So Modern Warfare 2 is at 52. Black Ops, I think this is Black Ops 3, is at 42%. Modern Warfare 3 is at, oh wait, no, that's just Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 is 42%. Modern Warfare 3 is at 53% completion. Black Ops 2 is at 32%. Which one is this? I can't even see. I need to zoom in. Control plus. Oh, that's Ghosts. Ghosts is at 41%.
All right, well, Ghosts with liquid garbage.
What is this one?
Advanced Warfare.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's going.
Yeah, and then Black Ops 3.
That was garbage.
That 9%.
Yeah.
9% completion
rate. That is
rate.
so fair. That was the worst COD campaign I've ever played.
The next one, what is the next one called?
World War II.
No, before that.
Infinite Warfare.
Wasn't that what you just said? Or did you wait?
Mm.
Advanced Warfare and Infinite.
No,
they're different.
Warfare.
Okay, yeah. Infinite Warfare is at 20%, and then World War II is at 40%.
World War II was garbage, but it was bearable.
And
all I'm saying is with the good COD campaigns, excluding Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, and World War II,
I'm
you
just
were a
saying
Giga Chad.
this suggests that
Where did they get those
most
numbers from?
this is from for Xbox 360. Oh wait. Okay. So what I was looking at before is Steam players.
Oh, there
This
you
one,
go.
right?
There
Listen,
you
listen,
go.
listen. For Xbox 360 slash Xbox One players,
Mm-hmm.
the
What game is it?
highest total, the highest one is 37%.
That's
Everything is
impossible.
lower.
Okay, then
Everything is even lower.
even if that is the case, you are a giga buff, big brain Chad if you played the COD campaigns. If you just skipped over the campaigns, you are such a beta. Like I can't even describe them.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's not very
Dude,
good.
the
It doesn't
COD game,
seem like it's very
dude, you
popular.
cannot. Some of the best characters in video games were born
Yeah,
in.
okay.
Are you gonna? You cannot look at me and tell me Victor Resnov isn't a badass.
I don't
Cannot
even know who
tell
that
me.
is, man.
Yeah, because you literally say story games are like reading a book.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
No,
not.
they have to be really good to be good. They have to be really good to be good. If they're mediocre, they're not.
That's
Right?
just. That's like okay. Like a game's like Spec Ops: The Line. No one ever talks about Spec Ops: The Line, but if you ask them about it, everyone says it's a great game. That game had one of the best stories in a video game I've ever played, and and
We'll see.
and I know if you had played it, or if you had listened to the story or like an explanation, you would say it's the worst game ever.
Why? Why would it?
Because it's like a sim. Because I don't even know how to explain it. It was so cool. So you play as this guy. I think his name's Captain Miller or something like that. I forget the name. I haven't played it since like 2012. But you play as you and two other guys, a part of Delta Squad or something, go into a sandstorm-ridden Dubai, like the whole city's destroyed, in search of survivors, and you're looking for this guy named John Conrad, who started like an insurrection in Dubai, and you go through the whole story, and you find like you commit all these atrocities, but you don't blame it on yourself. You blame it on Conrad, right?
Okay, I'm not listening.
Yeah, you're so garbage, man.
See, I was looking up other stuff. So, whatever. Cool game. Sounds cool and all.
Yeah.
But
That's all.
back to the topic. Okay. So, PS5, um, along with Miles Morales, it came out with Demon's Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls came out.
I've also heard that game is very good. Does anyone know anything about it? Because I have not seen anything on it except
Dude,
that it's good.
I beat Dark Souls 1 and I just stopped. Like I will never
Oh,
play
is it a
another
Dark Souls sequel?
Yeah. Well, it's made by the same
No,
people.
not a sequel.
Oh.
It's made by the people though.
And then also
Um,
Devil's May Cry 5 came out with it.
I don't know what that is. Is that like oh, I think I know what that is. That game is weird as hell.
Is it?
Wasn't that I remember I watched Devil May Cry 4. There's a little video clip and it was like this guy and he goes, man, it's so funny. This guy goes, man, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what is going on in this game. And all of a sudden, one of the characters puts a cowboy hat on and just starts dancing. And the guy has his face cam on. He just puts down his headset and leaves. Like he's just not even. Oh God, I'm crying. That was the funniest video I've ever watched.
Oh my.
The only thing I know about the game, though.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I also read on Twitter the other day, the official tweet from Xbox saying, "I can't believe we." I'll show it on screen right now, but they tweeted out, I can't believe we have to say this, but don't blow vapor into your Xbox Series X
Oh my
because
dude.
of all the clips of it like just like steaming or
Yeah, that was so funny too.
Blowing shit into their Xbox.
People were people
yeah.
were vaping into the top of their
No,
Xboxes
no,
and
no, no. They would
recording it.
vape into the back of it and it like vents up and it looks
Yeah,
like it's about to explode.
and so people recorded it and were like, "Yo, at Xbox,
Why is it
why
smoking?
is smoking bad console?" I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you got an addiction. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That people are imbeciles.
Um, I don't know. I think I don't know what happened. The only reason Xbox is a console is because of Halo, and that is the sole reason.
Wait, also, what do you think of the new PS4 or PS5 controller? It looks pretty
I don't like.
sick.
I hate
mean, dope.
PlayStation
Oh my
controllers.
god, the DualShock fucking controllers, they make those controllers so people are like, yeah, I don't like it's not that comfortable. Fuck that. I don't care if it's comfortable or not. You cannot deny that the way they build their fucking controllers is so much better than Microsoft's
No.
bullshit.
Yes,
They
it
have
is.
Wait,
fucking their
the Dual
triggers,
Shock or the Dual Sense? Because the new ones are the Dual Sense. Are you
What
the
talking
is
about?
DualSense, whatever they're called now.
Wait,
You
they have
fucking whenever
built-in
you're
mics and
pulling
stuff. Oh,
when you're pulling down the trigger, say you're like shooting a gun, it will give you that resistance of like you're actually pulling down a trigger and then it goes. Like they've built the triggers to have resistances to certain situations. They've always had like they've always had vibration stuff like that. They have audio that comes out of your controller. Like their controllers, they may not be as comfortable, but they are so like much better designed like technically than any Xbox controller
But I
ever.
mean, I don't play it for the technicality. I play it to be comfortable. If I'm not comfortable,
Also, I personally think that the PS4 controllers are more comfortable than the Xbox controller.
wrong. I disagree
I hate
120%.
having the
Dude,
two
that is
joysticks
so
at
much
opposite
better,
sides.
dude. My having both thumbs at the bottom is the most uncomfortable thing I have
Maybe
ever
for
done
your
in my.
small little bitch hand.
wait, hold
I
on.
have bigger
How?
hands than
Wait.
you.
How is that uncomfortable? How is it uncomfortable to have one at the bottom but not the other? That's confusing
It's
to me.
not. I like
Well,
having
yeah,
both.
because like in your natural hand position for a controller, both thumbs are at the bottom. No,
Exactly. Right?
I feel like that's okay. Hold on. So I'm on an article right now. Which controller has more features? This is not even a contest. PS5's DualSense adds several major features that its predecessor did not have, as adaptive triggers, which adjust the tension of the triggers based on what's happening on screen. Like Ian was just saying, right? The DualSense also has a returning touchpad, a gyroscope for motion controls, and a built-in speaker and microphone.
It comes with a C4 as well,
And then
dude.
the new Xbox controller brings the same features the Xbox One controller had, and then had an improved D-pad, and that's it.
And that's fine. I don't. I mean, the technicality's great now, but when it's uncomfortable in my hands, I just don't. I
You don't
don't
even
really.
fucking know, idiot. You've never had a PlayStation.
Yes, I have, my dude. My brother won that $400 golden Taco Bell PS4
Yeah,
that I
and
used to
you're
play.
not allowed to
I
fucking touch.
he had it back in 2015, and I played it, and I hated it.
Sure, Joey. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to believe me, but it's true. You can you can deny it to yourself, but I don't know what to tell you.
Okay,
So-
so yeah, but the battery charge on the Xbox controller is like triple what it is on the PS4 controller. I can also say that, or PS5 controller rather. PS5 looks way cooler than the friggin' Xbox. Like
I don't like.
I don't
hate
like the
both
box.
Of them.
No,
I
think
hate both
the
of them.
design of the PS4 or 5. Oh my god, I keep messing that up. I think it looks sick. I think it looks awesome.
I don't. I like simpler stuff. I don't like I don't like how the Xbox looks like a mini fridge, and I hate how the PlayStation looks like a literal spaceship.
I
a
think that's so
genuine space.
dope. No,
I
you
don't
don't
like
like
that.
that?
I also like
Interesting.
the PlayStation design. I don't like the Xbox design.
I don't like either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
It
like
just
the
hits a.
PS4's design. Honestly, I wish they just. I like it
Yeah,
more
I did.
simple.
I like the PS4 as well, but I really like the PS5. I think I like the PS5 better. It's probably one of the coolest console designs of all time. I think.
Mhm.
And I think people on the internet being like, "Oh, they're both ugly." Blah, blah. I think if the internet wasn't what it is and memes weren't a thing, I don't think anybody would have fucking cared how they look.
True.
But people
I
like
don't
to
know
take
about that.
things and be like, "Haha, funny, funny, haha."
I mean,
Like
I
nobody
don't.
actually really fucking cares how they look. They're getting them for the video games. I don't look at my PlayStation. I've not looked at my PlayStation in ages. I just play games on.
That is a fair point. Fair point indeed. Uh, yeah. So, do you think we've done covered this topic? Does anyone have any final thoughts on this, or?
Consoles are stupid. Get a PC.
Yeah, true. All this talk about consoles, we never actually mentioned the most important thing that
PC.
just buy a PC, man.
Get a
Don't waste your
PC,
money
don't
on a
get a console.
console.
Like
Man,
if
it's
you're
stuck
gonna
at
be
60
spending, dude,
FPS. It's
you for
bad
$600,
graphics.
$600, you could get a basic PC that can run decent games, modern day
Yeah,
games.
yeah. Trust, PC is just master
I spent
race. It's better.
$300 on my PC, and I can run like Far Cry
Okay,
5 at the
no,
highest setting.
you spent more than $300 on
No,
it.
or maybe like 400 because the monitor was like $100. But
Yeah, but trust, PC is better, 100%. Don't. Console may have some cool games. Controls are just bad. PC
Not
can do
really.
so much better.
I like the feeling of controllers. I like it better than mouse and keyboard. Honestly.
Well, yeah, you might like it better, but it's not ergonomically
it
better.
depends on the game you're playing. If I'm playing like shooting game, like Call of Duty is the only exception that I like controller better.
Well, that's
And
because you're
Rocket League.
used to it. Rocket
Okay,
League is a better controller.
you can say that
Just
like
plug a
shooting
controller
wise,
in for your PC. Plug if you
better.
really like a controller that much,
controller is
plug it in your
always
PC.
better for driving. In any situation, it is always better for driving.
I wouldn't agree. I
You
wouldn't.
literally
Depends
have
on the
said
game
it
though.
before.
Wait, what did you say?
Like Far Cry 5,
And when it comes to
it's
driving,
easy.
controllers are better.
It depends. Depends though. Like if we're talking like Far Cry 5 driving, I could not tell the difference.
Far Cry games driving is shit no matter what.
No, dude, Far Cry 5 driving
I
is the most
definitely
satisfying
think
thing
I
ever.
could drive better than you in like Warzone or something on keyboard. I can drive better than you can when you're on controller.
Who knows? Who knows?
Anyway, on to the next topic. I know Halloween just passed, but we'll do some
It passed like 3 fucking weeks ago.
yeah, that's
it's
just passed, dude. A
November
year.
13th,
Okay,
bro.
listen. A year is a long time. 2 weeks isn't that long in comparison. Okay, it comes once a year. 2 weeks
yeah, 2
after
weeks is a
isn't that
little.
bad. It isn't that bad. Okay, anyway. So, first question I have for you guys is if you were in the purge, right?
Mhm.
1 day purge, 24 hours where you can do anything without getting in trouble or breaking the law or anything.
Yeah.
How would you spend that 24 hours? Would you hide? Would you rob a bank? Would you kill your worst enemy? Or in-game?
Nobody would be dead.
Oh, Ian would be in the 6 feet under in 7 seconds flat, dude.
You
I'm a
think that-
crack shot, dude. You think you could, dude? A Mexican standoff, you would be gone.
You and
Gone
what
in
gun,
an
Joey?
instant.
Relax.
Be a Mexican standoff. You'd be dead before you even ever see me.
Yeah, that's the funny. Yeah, but you know what I got that you don't got? Grandpa Joe, motherfucker. He could literally look in your direction and you
I
just
feel
have
like
a heart
Grandpa
attack.
Joe, given the chance, would kill you.
No, incorrect.
Listen.
I have to carry on
Listen.
the name. I carry on the name.
Serious answers.
Oh, that was serious, 110%.
Yeah, okay, Joey.
No, in all honesty,
in one hand,
in all honesty,
would hide. I'm hiding, dude.
No. I don't know what I'd do actually.
Dude, I'm like,
I'd probably kill my neighbors and take their stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Joey, you
am-
should kill your neighbors and take their stuff.
Do you
That's
think you could
family.
take your neighbors though? Do you think you could 1v4?
Fucking yes, I absolutely can take. Have you been in my neighborhood?
Yeah. I mean,
The little rich families that live around here.
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't
They
know.
all lived. They've all lived here their entire lives.
Oh, I know what.
What would you do, Joey?
Well, there's a certain family of they treated my family like garbage in the 40s. I
Oh,
won't
in the
mention names.
40s? Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
when you were totally alive. Okay,
No,
got
yeah,
you.
but those people are still alive, right? And they're like 90. But I'd
Oh
walk on
my
over and be
God,
like,
Joey.
"What's up, dude?" Because they'll be shooting their AR-15s across the street at 1 in the morning, and our brother trying to sleep. And then you call the cops. They
Wait,
go,
they
"It's
have
duck season."
AR-15s,
Joey,
dude.
even
There's
if you
no
kill them, they
shot.
have
There's no
AR-15s, they're
shot
dead.
you win
Dude,
if they have
okay,
AR-15s.
unless then they have the best trigger finger I have ever heard in my life, dude.
There's
It's literally like,
no
"Pow, pow,
shot
pow,
you
pow,
win
pow,
if they have
pow,
all
pow,
that
pow,
gun.
pow, pow."
Off all
Dude,
those
it's
guns,
legal
man.
to own an M60. An
Yeah, I know. There's no
M60.
shot you win though. You and what army is taking that on?
Me and Grandpa Joe, dude.
Yeah,
Wow,
dude.
that is a 3-man army, man. Like I don't even
Oh
a
my
100-man army, a
God.
300.
No shot, dude.
No, they would be. Well, they're also like old and fret. That's also true. They're like hillbillies, man.
They're
But I'm a
hillbillies.
crack shot. Yeah, I'm a crack shot though. So
Yeah,
literally John Wick, dude. I don't even know what to say.
I bet.
Yeah. 1v1 me IRL, dude.
Dude,
1v.
no cap, you'd
Yo,
lose
imagine. No.
so
Imagine,
bad.
imagine being like in a guy in the 1800s, right? Where duels were a thing, right? You're in the bar, you're drinking, some guy bumps into you. 1v1 me, motherfucker. On Rust. You walk outside.
1v1
You
me
just
on
see
Rust.
1v1 me IRL. That was the original shit.
Hmm.
Like the Coliseum. 1v1 me kid in the Coliseum. That's
What was
some
that one
shit.
map in Black Ops? The ship
Oh, hijacked?
hijacked. Oh, dude.
1v1 me on hijacked, please.
Gun game hijacked. Let's go.
That's so, dude. Black Ops? Well, that was Black Ops 2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember.
Black
was
Ops
like,
2 was fire.
when Black Ops 2 came out, 2012. Jesus Christ, that was a long time ago. I remember, dude. My favorite gun in that game was the SWAT 4. I think it was called the SWAT 4. It's like a burst fire, AR or whatever. And I remember it was Search and Destroy. I'll never forget this game, dude. It was me and Brendan Bullen, Force Game Chat, and that was the last COD with Force Game Chat. And that was the last good, like, beautiful COD. But it was me versus the entire enemy team, right? And all I had was my SWAT 4, and I murdered every single one of those fools and defused the bomb. And the round ended, and everyone was like, "Holy fucking shit!" And that was the peak of my gaming career, and it was downhill from there.
Been downhill since then.
Yeah, absolutely horrendous. But that's what I do in the purge. I'd go murder some fools, I guess.
Okay. Joey wouldn't have the balls. Joey would not have the
Yes,
balls.
I would, dude. You
Dude,
don't
I would
understand.
go deep in the woods, and there's this well that I've I don't know. It's just kind of, it looks man-made. It definitely is man-made, but I have no idea who made it. It kind of just appeared there one day. I'd go hide
There's
in the well.
someone living there, man. There's someone.
There's definitely a dead body in there, but I'm gonna
That's
go in
freaky. There probably is. There probably is.
there. Mm-hmm.
Who knows? The only murder in this town that I know of, I think I already told you guys, but
Okay.
I don't know
Tell the
his
story.
name.
Tell the
you
story. Tell the
fucking
story.
idiot.
Tell the story.
Well, some kid and like
Some
60s
kid stole a bike, got murdered in a barn with a pitchfork. There.
didn't
Oh.
steal the bike.
Well, I was actually told a story by my teacher the other day, right? That in our school, there basically is just there's like we have 3 floors, but from the middle floor to the top floor, there's like a balcony that hangs over. It's probably like 7, 8 meters, so like 24 feet
Yep.
from the ground. And she told us a story, 2 days, no, yesterday, that in her in the first year that we had this school,
With the high school?
yeah, the first year that after the high school was built, a
Yeah.
kid jumped off the balcony.
Did he die?
Yeah, he lived, but I don't know how. He must have like 3 broken legs. Like I don't know how that
Was he
man.
trying to was he trying to kill himself? Or was that just
I
like
have no idea. I have no idea.
some
She didn't
jackass
elaborate,
shit?
but he was like escorted out of the school and like expelled.
Expel the guy. It must have been a joke then. There's no wait. They didn't call him like an ambulance?
That I don't know. That is my teacher just said that he got escorted out of the school. I don't know how. Maybe in a wheelchair, but like
Do you imagine?
like
they
how
just-
like
imagine they just
Yo.
loaded it up and pushed him away. Oh my!
but like it's onto like hard tile. I don't know how like
Ooh.
unless he's
Oh,
a parkour genius and rolled out of it and like
That's
spread the
cool.
pain across
You know
spread the
he
impact
did.
across his body. Like I don't know how he could have gotten out of that without anything broken. Like he had to.
It's
have
not that far. You can definitely fall and not hurt
No,
yourself.
dude, it's so far.
Yeah, that would.
It's
well,
not. If you know what you're doing, that's not that fun.
Yeah, but
Well,
who
yeah.
knows what they're doing? That's
A
the,
lot
that's,
of people probably know how to fall.
I don't know.
I mean, I can fall, but not that far onto tile, dude. That hurts.
I couldn't even imagine.
I
Imagine
would
the
probably do that
sound.
onto grass, maybe, but like, oh, I can
I,
just like feel the impact on my feet, dude. Ow.
Dude, I remember my brother was telling me, dude, on National Peace Day. I love it. I don't know how many it was. 3 fights happened, and one was right outside his locker. my brother Steve. One was right outside his locker. I think it was his friend Seamus, some other dude. But they were fucking like just beating the shit out of on National Peace Day. And my brother Steve, who at the time he weighed like 400 pounds, straight up walked over and was like kicking the shit out of the other motherfucker. Oh, I love this town.
Mm.
I hate it.
What, the town that we live in?
Yeah. Oh, I don't like, dude. There's no like cool stuff that goes on. There's no like 3 fights on National Peace Day.
I
Literal.
can't wait to leave.
And now I would hate to leave. Like if I was in that, I don't know. I don't like our.
Dude, I want to get into a fight before I get out of school. At
Same, man.
least one. Like I want someone to like pick a fight. And I just want to drop them, dude.
Oh no, dude, you could fucking tank, dude. You should have tanked that kid who's
Dude,
making fun of
Get
Morris.
some
I was
wrestling
about, dude. He's a twig. He was like,
Who
he's
was it?
5'3".
Like,
He's 5. He's like 5'3".
was it a freshman?
No, he's in my grade.
What?
He's like 5'3".
Wait, all right, let me rephrase the question. Could I kick his ass?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
Yes.
Dude, I would have ground pound.
Dude, you could have dropped him.
Oh man.
Well, like, yeah, I probably would have. I probably would have seriously damaged him with one hit. So,
dude, literally flicked him, just knockout.
yeah.
Oh man.
Well. Anyway, so, I guess we'll just the smoothest transition you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. As butter.
Do you believe in the paranormal or have any stories about it? Ghost stories, strangest experiences, out of body experiences, hallucinations, the works.
I 100% believe in the paranormal.
Any specific kinds or just everything in general?
I mean, I don't believe in like werewolves. werewolves and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but like
But,
ghosts,
like ghosts and all that, like yeah, I 100
spirits, yeah.
yeah, demons, spirits, angels. I believe all that.
Hmm.
I
See, I
believe that.
think I would believe in it, but I mean, I feel like there aren't enough ghost stories accounted for how many ghosts there are in the world, you know?
Yeah, like
So, like,
that's fact.
maybe a
That's
trillion
it.
people have died. How can only, like, maybe,
1800s babies
how
be
can,
ghosts.
or no, how can, like, only, like, 1, 2, maybe 300, like, have been seen out of, like, trillions, you know?
That's true. Like
Because
when I
there's the idea that they're going to fucking heaven or hell.
And then some get stuck
So-
here because they have unfinished business,
Because
right?
they have like unfinished business or for some other reason.
But
or
there's
some-
no shot that there's so many and there's only that many outliers, you know?
could then like why aren't there
The other
ghosts of
idea
like
is the
the
reason
Homo
you can't
sapien,
fucking
like the
see them is
Homo
because they're
erectus?
fucking ghosts.
Well, yeah, but right? If you could, like, do you believe that they can break through the veil?
No, I don't think that they're supposed to. Which is why we require us to use equipment and shit to kind of do that breach.
Mm.
Yes, you can see some spirits, but I've also brought up a point in a conversation before. Sometimes you're not actually, if say you see like a something walking by or you hear a sound and you're like, that was weird, where the hell did that come from? That can just be residual energy from like an event that happened. Like say a very common like ghost kind of haunting sighting thing is like in an old ghost town in the saloon there will be like a table and say back then when like back in the days where there was like the gold rush and shit, people would get shot in saloons for like they're like have a grudge or they're playing a game and someone cheats, they'll get shot. And usually around those tables and stuff, like at night or something, you can hear like a gunshot or you'll see some figure standing in the corner where that event happened. And it's like, are you seeing a ghost that never left? Honestly, probably not. You're probably seeing like that what that energy of that moment left behind is still there. And if the conditions are right, say it's nighttime at the time that that event happened back then, it's the same temperature, the moon's at that phase that it was back then, that energy could re-trigger that event. It's all residual energy. So not every paranormal thing is an actual ghost still here, but it could just be the residual energy from that event coming back.
Interesting.
And so, like, if you're a complete, like, you don't believe in it at all, and you're like, well, that just sounds like mumbo jumbo. But it's like, there's also, there is ways to gather evidence that there is something there. While it doesn't fully confirm it's a ghost, it confirms something unnatural is happening when you use this equipment. And you can't just be like, oh, well, that's hocus pocus, because it's literal just scientific fucking equipment that is picking up something. You can't exactly say it's a ghost, but it's not just natural. It shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if I believe.
Joey, you said you've seen Ghost.
Yeah, but like I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't. I like. I'll say I do. Like I'll say it for the sake of the.
It's also more fun to believe it. People were like, well, I don't want to believe. Why? What do you lose from believing in it? It's more fun. It's a
I feel
more
like it
fun
could be
way
a
to live
fear
life.
factor, no? Like, if you don't believe it, then it can't. If it doesn't exist, it can't hurt you. But I feel like if it exists, you can be scared of it, you know?
Mm,
Also, I mean, I think I do as well. I think I believe in ghosts as well. But thing I believe more strongly is I think like astral projection and spirit walking. I feel like that
oh,
is like a
what
thing.
what does that mean?
So if you focus enough, right, you're able to detach your spirit from your body, and you're connected to your body by like a chain or like a line of energy, right? And you're able to move around, right? But your physical body is standing still, but you're able to move around in your spiritual. your like spirit, right?
Yep.
But if that chain is ever broken, that link that is ever broken, right? You'll be trapped outside your body forever. Or like dark figures or like parasites can try and take over your body while it's empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something along those lines. And you can kind of just walk around, see what you want, and then like apparently above our world is like I forget what they call it. It's like a astral field or something. Um, Something like that, and where you can meet all other people who are astral projecting. And I've heard a few stories about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
One person I've heard, right? They had this
Mhm.
boyfriend that claimed they had astral projected, right? And some evidence is she got him Christmas presents like a week before Christmas, and never she never left her room unlocked or whatever. He never was able to go in and see it, but he somehow knew, and he claimed it was astral protection. But he probably could have saw it through the window or looked at her credit card receipts, whatever. Maybe there's some way he found out. But then he started. He was emailing random people from all across the globe, right? They lived in America. He was emailing people from the Middle East, Northern Europe, Japan, all stuff like that, who just happened to speak English, right?
Mm.
And he claimed it was from the astral, like the world. I forget what the astral field. And that was also a little weird, but the kicker was for me was after they broke up, like 2 months, right? This girl, she wrote in her diary about her feelings for him, and like I don't know, just stuff about it, right? And he texted her the next night, exact quotes from the diary, and claimed that he saw him through astral projection. I don't know. It's just, I feel like that is just too crazy, or not too crazy, too specific to not be real. And I mean, I feel like with enough, if there is a ghost, like a veil, right? I feel like the astral projection world could be the veil, and that's what we could be mistaking for ghosts or something along those lines. I don't know. It's just they intertwine kind of, and I think it's just. I mean, these all could be fake. I could just be believing nonsense, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I. That's like a, to me that's a stretch, but yeah,
That I agree. It is a stretch. I think that if it were really possible, that a lot more people would be able to truly do it, because you only hear about it very, very infrequently. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like when it comes to paranormal shit, I guess I would say I believe it. Like I'll say it for the sake of the podcast or whatever. But I'm walking home. I'm walking home, and it's on a gravel path, and all of a sudden I hear these footsteps by me, not like right by me, but close enough where I could hear it. And I turn around, and there's these two motherfuckers, a dude and a woman, in all black, very fancy attire, like like white as snow, like as literal snow.
like they're like
Not like see through, but like Irish, like level of white, even whiter.
okay,
Um, at the same exact
like
time,
white as a ghost.
yeah, yeah, they wave at me. And I'm like, oh, cool people. I wave back, and this was in the course of like 5 seconds maybe, and I just turn back around and I keep walking, and I'm like, that didn't feel right. And I turned back around, and maybe like a second passed, and I turned back around, and they're gone, like just gone. And I'm sitting there,
Wait, I've never heard this story before.
and I pull out my phone, and I texted Ian like, "Yo, I just saw a straight up ghost."
Ian, I just saw ghosts.
They were, and there was no, because I would have seen them if they had went to the left or right, because there's a minute didn't pass, it was a second, and they were just gone. So I went home, I did whatever I did, and I'm sitting there. I don't even, I don't even know. I just don't know. So that's
See,
like my one.
I think the only paranormal experience I've encountered is like, um, when I was a kid. When I would get sick, it would always be worse than like it should have been, right? If I get sick, I would always lay on my bed, whatever, eat soup, yeah, yada yada. But when I would lay down to go to sleep that night, on a night I was sick, I
Yep.
would look at my ceiling, and my ceiling just became a bunch of dots, or like circles, and I always had to look at each one to fill them in.
The fuck?
And
Were you just tripping balls?
and once I felt like these circles gave me extreme anxiety, like something I've never experienced again in my life. Um, I it was like I had a timer to basically fill in all these circles, or something bad was gonna happen, right? But every time I would complete the entire grid, that portion would become very, very small, and that would become one dot, and I would have to fill in 10,000 times more of those grids. And it always felt like my that there was a timer where if I didn't fill those in, something bad was going to happen to me. And I think about it recently. I thought about this recently, and I don't know, it felt like this is why I was talking about it during astral projection earlier, like a dark entity trying to take my body when I was vulnerable, because it only happened when I was sick and when I was a kid. It doesn't happen anymore. And I don't know, that's always what I believe now, that something was trying to um and like take over my body, and it was trying to distract me from the real world.
Like demons in possession is like a real. If you believe in the paranormal, and even if you're religious of any kind, possession and demons is a. Here's another thing why it's like it has to be real is cultures from all over the world that might have never interacted with each other have
These same
these
beliefs, right?
same beliefs of there being demons and spirits and like good spirits and evil spirits. It's like the Native Americans in America had these ideas, and
And they
so did like tribes over in Africa, or even the Europeans had these beliefs, and the Native Americans also had them. Two people that didn't meet for a very long time.
Yeah, that's what I always found weird. I always thought about how did like people just think of these ideas of religion? Like how, like, I mean, I guess a higher power is always in consideration, but like all this all the other stuff, I don't know. And I'm not a very religious person. I don't know if I believe in capital G, or, whatever. But uh whenever I do think about it, science goes back all the way. Everything is explained by science. But except I never understood one thing. One, when like in the beginning of the the universe's creation, everything, there's just space dust, right? And it all keeps getting together, uh like pushing together, condensing, and then it basically exploded, which created the Big Bang and created basically the universe. But like, how did something get there then when there was nothing? Also, another part of that is even more recent in like in a universe timeline, uh, Earth, right? Earth was like two rocks that hit into each other, and then it happened to become full of water, and then rock. But there was one at one point there was one bacteria, right? Or like one single-celled organism. How did that one cuz there is a fundamental rule of cells, right? Cells can only come from other cells. How is this a rule when a cell just appeared, right? I never understood that how life first came to be. I understand how evolution and it expanded and the cells copy, but how did the first one get there? That's what I never understood.
Yeah.
I don't know, or even like the fact that matter can't be created or destroyed. Then like how
Yeah, how did it come? How
was
did
anything?
nothing come from, or how did anything come from nothing? Right? If it can't be created or destroyed, I agree with that too.
Like, was there ever a point where there was nothing and then there was something? Or was there always something for an infinite amount of time? And if that's the case, how long was there that something
and
before?
where did it come from? Like what?
It's something that our brains just can think about, but we can't fully comprehend. And I think
Exactly.
that there's also just another aspect of that. Maybe it's because there is a higher power. Scientists will be like, no, there's always a reason. But it's like, but what if that
Explain
isn't
this.
the case? What if there is a higher power? And you don't even have to think of it in a religious standpoint, but there might just be something out there that's bigger than all of us.
Exactly. I remember in middle school, we had to do this project where each group we had like or three groups, or no, five groups. We had five groups, and each was assigned to do a to make a slide presentation on whether the universe was finite or infinite, right? And since there was two and two groups, right, finite and infinite, my group, she was like, yeah, you guys get to choose any theory you want. And my group, being the seventh grade boys that we are, chose the theory of a digital simulation. That we were basically
the
not
Giga Chad move.
exactly. Basically chose the Matrix theory. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know. It's 20 years old. Get over it. Uh, that we were basically living in a digital simulation, and we had to get out. And there's like even plenty of evidence supporting that. Like a lot of billionaires like secretly hire a team of researchers to try and prove it and to get us out. Elon Musk has spent billions of dollars trying to prove this theory. Like Elon Musk, one of the smartest, most innovative guys in the modern era, like believes that, and he's not a stupid person. That's just like, I don't know. I just think it's crazy. There's so many theories that exist, and it's crazy how we haven't found any evidence that anything is true. You know, like, I mean, there's more. There is more for some than others, but none of them can be 100% proven, and that just makes it all up to faith. And faith is something that is hard to have. I don't know. It's just tough. I think that a lot of it is it's just crazy. I mean, everything is just so complex, and nothing can be fully explained.
Mm. I, like with the whole simulation thing, it's like I don't know if I believe in any of that. Like, it's like that video that we watched. I swear to God, we live in a video game world, and that video is the best evidence I've ever seen to support that theory ever. This motherfucker just records this random dude walking, and then goes, he looks like a Grand Theft Auto generated character. He looks like he could get hit by a car, get up, and continue to walk. And it was such a
Yeah, I don't know. And like some people, I feel like some people in the world are
little
actual
NPCs.
literal yeah. They're like literal NPCs and or like some of them are just some crazy people are just put on here to just test us, I feel like
I don't.
I don't know. It's
It's just a big
like
Civ game.
yeah, like serial killers or like um basically like cults and stuff. I don't know. It's like all to throw us off the actual thing that's happening, but we still can't figure it out. It's
I
crazy.
think like I don't think it's like I try to stay away from that because you end up it kind of like consumes you in a way, and
Yeah,
I don't I just say live your life the way you want to live it.
true.
As long as you're not a psychopath,
Yeah, as long as you're not hurting anybody or yourself,
just live your life.
do what you want.
Damn, no one can tell you.
And I guess that leads us basically right into the election and
The election, dude, that shit was the funniest. Like it's literally politics today is nothing but an actual game. Like there's nothing. I don't think. I don't think our votes truly matter, but I don't think that shouldn't give us a reason not to talk about it because this is how and this is a recent thing that I've come up that I never used to care. I still believe that in what we say doesn't matter. I feel like it's pre-decided, but I feel like it's important to talk about that because, like for example, we're very similar to Rome in terms of our political sense when they first started, anyway, not the empire.
yeah.
And the fall of Rome, I always blame on the people, and it was the government's fault they became an empire, but the people did nothing. They became lazy, and they didn't do anything to even attempt to stop it. So I think when we begin to just it kind of like, well, there's nothing we can do. Like, how is that any different? We just give up. We just let it take us over, have them control us, and that's a fear of mine, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think the vote is predetermined, but I think it's really hard to influence it with just with a vote. I mean, yeah, it matters, and some of these votes came down to the wire this year, but I feel like it's too the way that it's set up that the electoral college and such that your vote doesn't even if it does matter, it doesn't matter equally to anyone cuz like your vote in Nebraska does not matter as much as someone in California or Texas or someone with a lot of electoral votes, right? It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It's like, and I think that a lot of the um, how do I word this? A lot of the people saying that your vote matters are partially correct um, because of the key states. I don't think that most of the mid states don't matter because your vote as a Democrat in Texas is not going to matter. It just isn't. That's the problem. That even if there is a Democrat favor, right?
Mm.
The Senate, it's up to the actual senators. They can just switch it on a knife's edge, right? Like you could vote in the wrong person to be your senator, and you could even if you get 100% votes, right? there still isn't the guarantee that the guy's going to vote for you because that's just how the electoral college works. I mean, it hasn't ever happened, I don't think, but it's just I feel like it's unreliable and prone to corruptness. Um, and the way that you can win the popular vote but lose the actual election is crazy. That is another sign that shows your vote clearly doesn't really matter, you know? And it's just, it's tough. It's like, yeah, go ahead, Joey.
But I also think, like, if statistically, not statistically, but in terms of numbers, cities would literally just uh, control if it was a popular vote, the middle of the country would still not matter theoretically, because how many people live in Florida, California, Boston, New York? I mean, I feel like it would literally just flip flop, where like Massachusetts has how many electoral votes? Like three.
We have like
That I
10,
feel like
I think, or like 11.
10. Yeah, I think it would honestly just flip flop. I think Massachusetts would be a key state. New York would be a key state. California would be. I don't think it would. I genuinely
Yeah,
don't
it's
think it would
11.
change. I don't think it would change anything, to be honest. I think the key states would remain the key states.
I agree, but I feel like the problem is that if you vote Democrat in a Republican state, or even vice versa, right? Your vote actually just doesn't matter. It just is not. It is wiped from existence, right? Because it won't count towards anything. Your um, it's just gone from existence because it's one or the other. There's no split. There's no split, right? I mean, in some cases there are splits, but in most cases it's one or the other. So if you vote like uh Alaska, right? If you vote blue in Alaska, it is a waste of a vote. You are not doing anything with that vote, and it is nothing you can do about it. But with a popular vote system, right, that vote would count towards the grand total. Where in any other case, right, in our current situation, a red vote in a blue state is not doing anything. It's useless. It's not helping. Like there's really nothing you can do about that. That's what I mean when I say that. So
Historically, I get why we had it, because the North, like if we're talking like 1800s, the North literally would have just had every single election under their thumb, no matter what, because it was the majority of the people were in the North. So I get why the framers of the Constitution did that. Um, I don't know though
I'm not
if
saying
it's
it. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I've nothing else to add.
I'm not saying it should be completely changed to a popular vote, but it should be modified. I think that so your vote, if you're voting red in a blue state or blue in a red state, it should count towards something. And that's the real problem. I mean, I guess you're fighting within your own country, but like, or country, your own state or even district, but it's I don't know. I guess it makes it simpler this way, but it's still tough. It's still tough to say with confidence that every vote matters. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think um, its its value is kind of kind of an extension of representative democracy, meaning like all of the counties in each states are pretty much counted, because like the national vote is I don't know what, or like a popular vote, um like large, I don't know what to say here, like hmm I think rural areas would definitely in the US would literally have no say in anything whatsoever. Not that they do now by any means, but I genuinely don't think it would change. like more urban areas such as cities it'd be like the mob rule, where literally cities like your state, if you have a major city in your state, which most states do, that's all you need. That is all you need to win.
Are
That's
you talking about in the current or in like a modified format?
in a modified format.
Well,
I
so
th-
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I feel like at least your vote being added to the total count, like if you're in like a major city, right? Even in major cities, this is a problem, right? You're getting 50,000 people voting for. No, that's not even. You're getting 3 to 6 million people voting blue, right? And you have 3 million voting red. The 3 million of those votes just get wiped from existence because
but,
of,
but wouldn't that happen anyway?
well, in a popular vote, right? In like a completely popular vote, those votes would get added to the total, right? But theoretically, those just get wiped out from existence because of the electoral college precedents. They just get every single one. So they basically get 100% of California with only 66% voting, right? So that
Hmm.
split is wiping away the 33% that the red got, and it's the same for any other state, big or small. It would make your vote. It would make people feel like their vote mattered more because if they disagree, if they're disagreeing to the majority of their state, you just don't have a say in anything because of how it works
Like,
now.
so how many people live in the U.S.? Like 400 million,
300
350
million,
million? Yeah.
probably around 200 million
I
voters
I
registered.
just don't I don't see, like, California has what, like 40 million people living in it.
Yeah.
Uh, like, logically, like 5 states would rule over the other 40, the other fucking 45. You know what I mean?
Well, so that's what it. Oh my god. Hello. You good? Okay,
Yep.
there we go. So that's what it is now, right? So because you get 100%, even if you get 51%, like 51% can win you the 100% of the state, and that just. I actually, you know what? I see what you're saying. Since the population is more, or the electoral
It's more
votes are more.
condensed.
Yeah. So like, I actually understand because
And
a
that's
lot more of it is condensed. Like even on states like California, I don't know how many it has. It's probably around 40. California electoral votes. Um, they get how many do they get? 55, right?
mhm.
55, and let's say Nebraska gets 3, right? I
Yep.
think that, or yeah, Nebraska has 3. I think that California probably has over 20 times the people that Nebraska does.
Yep.
So it does like limit the super ends pretty. It does a good job of that, actually. I agree. But it still invalidates the votes of way more people than it would if it was popular, I think.
I guess I think the framers of the Constitution, it was also a different time, and I don't know if it would work better now. But that
Yeah.
was that was their fear, was the mob rule mentality, meaning like 5 states literally just decided it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I'm
That
not
makes
sure.
sense. Ian, do you have anything to say about it, or
Is he dead? Is he gone?
Ian?
I stopped paying attention. It got boring.
Oh.
You're boring.
Okay. I guess we'll move on
Ease
and
on
we'll do
down.
one more topic before we wrap this up, I guess. And I would like to talk about accents.
Sam,
Eh,
please.
What about
So,
accents?
okay, so why do they exist? Like, what makes accents?
Regional
Um,
dialects, people coming up with different languages, different ways to say things.
Okay, yeah, exact. Okay, that makes sense. So, but if you are like, why does Australia and American accent sound different? They speak the same language,
um,
Regional dialect.
huh?
Regional
I
dialect. People who are grouped together will tend to talk and say things similar. So if you separate two populations, the way they talk over time is going to change differently.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's like, I don't know.
That's why accents exist. It's literally the explanation. There's not much to it.
Well, okay, then I have a couple questions then. One, uh, is it possible to change your accent? Do you think if you lived in
It
like
depends.
at our age, right? Uh, not growing up with it, us already having a dialect. Do you think if we lived in I don't know Australia the rest of our lives, we would develop an accent?
It depends. If you it depends first, I think it depends on when you move to, and second, it depends on whether or not you're trying to speak differently. Like say
You
you
don't think
take
it would just happen naturally?
I mean, certain things about the way you talk will probably change, but I think that like original American accent, like word, like our hard R's, probably won't go away.
So you don't
So,
think if I live there for 60 years after being living 16 years here, I would go from saying water to water
not if you're
or
not trying to. I think you're at a point in your development where you'd keep those hard R's. Certain things would definitely change, and I'm sure you'd say things differently eventually. But I think things such as those hard R's probably would stay, just because America's like the one of the only places that really uses those hard R's.
mm-hmm.
Certain places because we're fucking weird. But there's certain things definitely will change. But you got to think about like YouTubers online. They all most of them speak or try to learn English. Say if they're from a foreign place, they end up trying to speak English because you'll reach a wider audience that way. But their accents will go from being very thick and heavy to starting to die off, and that's just because they're trying to speak more understandably to people. And it's
Yeah.
like you put them back in their natural element, that accent will probably come back because it's what they grew up with, and that's being re-triggered by like being where they're from. Like if they go back to their hometown or to whatever country they
They
were
go back
born,
to their normal way of talking.
their accent will come back. But I think that like, 'cause say you went moved to Australia when you're 16 and you lived there for 20 years, and yes, you start to say things a little differently, but I think if you went back to America,
It would go all the way back.
you
It would
you
regress
it,
instantly.
it might not go all the way back, but you definitely get that more American accent to come out.
So
yeah.
do you think if I tried or like if someone tried to change their accent they could?
Yeah, yes.
So like
If
living in Australia for 20 years say with the intent of trying to change my accent, do you think eventually I would be doing it without forcing it? It would be natural. Do you think it would be natural eventually?
well, I think that if you went with the intent to learn and then speak in an Australian accent and use their vowels and use move your mouth the way that they do, you will be able to use an Australian accent easily. With that said, you'll probably still remember how to speak in a more like American New England accent as well.
So you
Like I
don't
don't think
think it would
that's
be
going
my
to go away.
default setting? You don't think
I
that would
think
go
you
to
will be able to switch back and forth, and you'll be able to choose. And I think your natural, if those are the two, if that is the accent that you're going for and you use it every day, I think your natural accent will become a mixture, and then you can do an American and an Australian accent. Because like you look at actors and they'll train with dialect coaches to master an accent, but they can always go back to theirs,
Mhm.
and they might at certain points start to blend all of their different ways to talk that they know. They might blend it a little differently. But it's like, I think if you're at a certain age, you're not gonna forget the foundations of where.
Fundamentals.
Say
Yeah.
if you were like 10, I think if you were 10 and you moved to Australia, your accent will probably change. But if you're 16, I think you're at the point where yes, your accent may change a little, but I think you could always go back to your American accent.
Okay. And what do you think about like, I guess this is more language, but like pitchy accents, like Japanese, Korean, and Mandarin Chinese, you know? Because
So
those have more, they use more pitches in their talk.
yeah, they speak. So that's why more like Asian and like those countries, they will tend to be born more with perfect pitch because the way they talk is with more pitches
Pitch,
and
yeah.
stuff rather than like we talk with fluctuation and stuff like that, but
They
they
use
talk
pitch to
pitch.
accent their
Yeah,
speech.
and so that's why they're born more with like
There's
perfect pitch, and
different. There's
they have a better understanding of music, I guess, is because that's another interesting thing along that lines is that this is completely off topic, but I learned this the other day. You can grow up without being able to like carry a beat or have rhythm because you're not born with like the ability to carry a beat or to have rhythm. And if you are not before the age of 1 taught like what a beat is, or like if cuz say like you can get taught it by simply your parents singing a song and tapping on you, like they could be tapping on your foot while they're singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and that'll give you like the knowledge and like the understanding of like, oh hey, this is a thing. But if that doesn't happen, you can grow up basically not being able to carry a beat or know what rhythm is really.
So like without being able to do something in timed intervals.
You basically, yeah.
So like you can
I think you can
dun,
kind of
dun,
probably
dun.
over time maybe teach yourself, but most humans that's kind of natural because usually your parents will sing you something and bounce you up and down at a steady beat, and that's how you get that understanding. But you can grow up without knowing how to carry a beat and like
So
do
yeah,
stuff.
without knowing how to carry a beat, would that come with the thing where you just couldn't like sing, or like you couldn't like snap in a rhythm like this, or like
I think yeah, I think it's like I mean you could probably sing. You just won't be able to keep time with anything because you won't be able to keep that beat going. And I think maybe you
yeah, because
can.
I feel like it's not like a skill; it's just something you get a feel for. So that actually makes
It
sense.
is. Your beat is being able because like sure you may have trouble learning how to do rhythm, but rhythm is
It's
isn't
like built into your brain.
a different skill than beat. Like anybody, if I start snapping, say I took somebody that doesn't do music at all, they don't know music, don't know how to do it easily. If I start snapping and keep that time and I tell them to do it and then I stop, they should be able to still keep that steady beat. But if you weren't taught how to do that, or if you weren't given that sense of how to do that when you're a kid, you just won't be able to.
So like not being able to would be like not being able to copy it, or just not being able to like
Just
time
I
them,
don't
like
be
slow, like they would
able
all be different intervals. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, like you can't keep time. You won't be able to do a steady time. I'm not even sure you could if you saw somebody doing it and you tried to repeat after them, you'd probably have trouble doing it.
Interesting. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
weird. Yeah, I learned that the other day that you're not born with the ability to keep a beat and understand a beat.
Huh. And so, okay, now that we're on the topic anyway, the concept of perfect pitch, is that just being able to remember pitches? Is that just what it is?
Being able
pretty
to hear
much.
a pitch and know exactly what pitch it is.
Well, yeah. So that's just remembering them like you remember the sounds of words.
Pretty much.
So like
Kind of.
you can like
It's harder than that because being able to be like buh and being like, oh, that's the sound that B makes, and being able to hear a pitch and then be like, oh, I know the exact pitch that is. I can tell whether you were a little sharp or a little flat, whether you're not hitting that exact pitch is a lot different than just being like, oh, I know that sound. I know that what sound that letter makes.
Well, because the only
I don't
reason I
even.
say that is because like when you're born, when you're born with perfect pitch, you don't just like your mom like out of the womb, you can't just hear a note and name it, right? That's just not something that happens. It's something that you learn, and it's like a memorized thing that only some people can do, right? Because like if you're not musically inclined, like if or not music, if you just don't do music, right, and you have perfect pitch, you're not going to be able to hear a note and know what it is.
I mean, yes and no, because you could probably hear. You wouldn't maybe know the name, pick out a named note and do it, but say it's like I'll play this, play something that's like two pitches above it. Even that, like with simple bit, because like you could have a simple understanding of music and not know like all the names of notes and shit. You could be like, I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna play six other notes. Sing me the note that I first played or something, and then they'll be able to just pick that up easily.
Hmm.
Because it's like
I never understood it.
think about in chorus class if someone's gonna play a note and they're like, don't keep that note in your head, just listen to it now and then get rid of it. I'm gonna play like seven other notes, sing the first note that I play. Or it'll be like, I'm gonna play eight notes in a random order, sing the third note that I play. And they might be able to easily remember and pick that note.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't have it. And my relative pitch isn't that great. But
Yeah,
like
mine isn't. I can get a C and that's it.
you can train your ear to be able to just recall, because it is like kind of a memory thing. That is what the fundamental is, and you can recall a note and you can think, oh, I want to sing a B flat, and then you can train your like you can like think and hear the note in your head and then sing it. And I guess that's what perfect pitch is. It allows you to pick out and hear notes in your head and know what exactly they are, know whether it's a little off or not. It gets weird. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't have it.
Yeah.
I know that it apparently can be annoying when you're trying to do certain things because you're like, ugh, I don't like the sound. It's not good, not right.
Uh, huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Joe,
Like
you have
I
any
think
thoughts? Oh, go ahead, Ian, if
Well,
you have something.
I think it's. I don't. I think like. I think it's mostly memorization, and I'll say why. With like the Chinese language, for example, 'cause I take Mandarin, a lot of the words have the exact same like the it's called pinyin. It's like the English, not the English pronunciation, but how like the our English letters would say it. Like sh is shi,
Mm-hmm.
and that word has so many meanings depending on the tone markers. So, like, I could easily just see it being memorization. Like, if you want to know what a B flat is, you would probably like. I don't see that being
Just
any
think of
different
the B
than,
flat, right?
or, yeah,
Like
and
you think of any
memorize it
word. Yeah.
exactly. Like, if you want to know what sh, what the certain tone marker is, that's the same concept.
Yeah, because it's just like it's like matching. Yeah, it's like matching things in your head, like um, it's like A goes with this sound, right? But instead of the sound being like a how do you different? It's not a pitch. It's just like a sound you make.
Mm.
It's just being able to remember pitch. You just remember the sound it makes, right? You remember the sound a B makes. Like that. That's how I always thought of it. I mean, that's why I asked. I wasn't really sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I only ever. Actually, no. That's a lie. I've met a couple people with perfect pitch.
I
Um,
only know 'em.
I never really
I've
asked.
met a couple people with it.
Wait, what? How many?
I've met a couple people with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to like a couple events where there were just a ton of people there with Perfect Pitch, and I should have asked them how it worked. I never ended up getting around to it though, and it doesn't seem hereditary. Is it I don't think it's hereditary, is it? Because the person I know that you guys also know, call him Jerry. His
Mm-hmm.
dad didn't have it, did he? Or like anyone else in his family.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
It's
That's the
it's
boggles
it's
my
something
mind.
that just kind of happens. Is it it's not a mutation because it would happen a lot more. I feel like it's a hereditary gene, but I don't
But
remember
then,
anyone
but
related to him having it.
but then they also, that person also has the fundamentals of like music, like what is a G, like when he was 3, I don't think someone played a G and he just goes G. Like,
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Like when you can't come out of the womb and just like hear a pitch and name it, right? You have to
mm,
like know. It's something you can learn. It's like it's like a wall, right? If you have a there's a wall blocking you, like when you're
yeah,
trying to learn it, like me, you, and Ian, we're trying to learn it, but it's like impossible because we can't just remember the pitch. But that wall is unlocked for people with perfect pitch. I guess you can when you're learning it, you remember it. I mean, it's just like any
Remember.
other thing, I guess. Like I don't
And
know.
that's why it's also easy for them to like learn how to play different instruments, is because you can if
Oh,
you
that's a really good example, actually. Sorry, go ahead.
if you learn how to read music, you can learn how to play an instrument easy. If you can just learn where all the pitches are on that instrument, you'll be able to just remember which ones you need to play.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an instrument, right? It's like an instrument. You can learn which buttons make which letter sound. You can't remember the actual sound, but you can remember the letter. It's like that. It's like learning where to press the button to make the right sound. And that's just like the equivalent of perfect pitch on an instrument. It's like you just learn where to learn what it sounds like for that letter. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really interesting. I like when I first heard about it, I looked up how to teach myself perfect pitch. And I realized it
You
wasn't a teachable skill.
you can't really teach yourself.
You
You
can
can
have
get
really
it.
good relative pitch, but you can't have perfect.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if you can teach yourself. Maybe you can. Maybe you can get so great that your relative pitch just becomes perfect pitch, even though it isn't exactly perfect pitch. But you've
It's
trained enough
close
people
enough,
and
yeah.
can do
It's
exactly what they
it's
do.
almost exactly the same, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. Uh, do you guys have any final thoughts on anything before we end it tonight?
I don't. I got nothing.
Ian,
What?
any final thoughts?
No.
No? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of In a Kerfuffle podcast. Hopefully there will be more coming out. If you have any topic suggestions, make sure to leave it in the comments below. If you want to, you can like and subscribe. It's free. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Peace out.